Okay, let's just jump right into this. I want you to ask yourself something and be really honest. Do you ever feel this deep, unshakable tiredness, even when you feel like you've gotten enough sleep?
I'm not talking about that, 5 more minutes kind of tired. I mean a tiredness deep down in your bones. The kind where you've slept for 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours, but you still feel like something's missing. Like your body woke up, but your energy just decided to hit the snooze button.
If that feeling sounds familiar at all, stick with me. Because this isn't really about the usual suspects we always hear about, like burnout or insomnia. It's about a much quieter, almost invisible kind of exhaustion that we've kind of been taught is just normal.
We tell ourselves stories, right? We think, oh, I'm just being lazy or it must be burnout. But what if the real cause isn't some personal failing? What if the problem is simply that you are out of rhythm with your own body? That's the big idea we're going to unpack today.
So, how do we get back in sync? Well, it's not about the latest, greatest productivity hack. It's something way more fundamental. See, the solution isn't to fix yourself, because you're not broken to begin with. It's all about reconnecting with 4 core things our bodies already know and crave: light, time, stillness, and movement. Let's look at the 4 simple habits that can get you there. Let's start with our first 2 habits. These are all about syncing up our internal clocks with 2 of the most powerful cues in our environment: light and time. Okay, habit number 1, light before screens. Most of us, we do it without even thinking. The alarm goes off, and the very first thing we reach for is our phone. And bam, we're instantly hit with a flood of emails, notifications, and bad news. We think we're just catching up, but what we're really doing is pumping our brains full of noise and stress before we've even had a chance to have our own first thought. We're starting the day on defense. The neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman just nails it with this quote. Our brain's main signal for telling time isn't a clock on the wall, it's light. And by starting our day with that artificial blue glow from a screen, we're feeding our body the wrong information from the very first minute. This all comes down to our circadian rhythm. You can think of it as your body's master clock. It's this internal 24-hour cycle that runs pretty much everything: your hormones, your body temperature, your mood, your digestion, the whole shebang. And the number one most important thing that sets this clock every single day is natural light. The biology here is actually pretty straightforward. When real natural morning light hits your eyes, it sends this powerful wake up now signal to your brain. This triggers a healthy spike in cortisol, that's the get up and go hormone, and it slams the brakes on melatonin, the sleep hormone. It is the literal green light for your brain to be alert and focused. And well, a phone screen just can't do that. So just like light sets your clock in the morning, the timing of your last meal pretty much sets your clock for the night. And that brings us to habit number 2, eat earlier than you probably think you need to. Now, here's why this is so critical. If your body is busy digesting food when you go to bed, it's not actually resting. It's working. Digestion keeps your core body temperature high, and that physically blocks you from getting into the deepest, most restorative stages of sleep. To really rest, your body needs to be in recovery mode, not work mode. You know, there's a whole area of science for this called chrononutrition. It's not just about what you eat, but when you eat it. And studies, like some from the University of California, have shown that eating within 2 hours of your bedtime makes you lose out on a huge chunk of slow wave sleep. And that's the good stuff. That's when your body is repairing tissues and locking in memories. Honestly, going to bed with an empty stomach is one of the most powerful sleep aids out there.
All right, so our last 2 habits are all about managing your internal state, proactively creating stillness at night, and then generating your own energy in the morning. Habit 3 is to slow the night down before it speeds you up. Think about it. So many of our nights are loud. Not loud with sound necessarily, but with energy. We're scrolling on our phones, we're watching intense shows, we're multitasking right up until the moment we want our brain to just shut off. We're basically flooring the gas pedal and then expecting to stop on a dime. It just doesn't work. We end up colliding with sleep instead of gently arriving there. So the solution isn't another checklist for your night. It's a ritual. And I absolutely love the distinction made here. A ritual is what you do to be productive. A ritual is what you do to remember who you are. Creating a wind-down ritual, dimming the lights, closing the laptop, it isn't about just ticking boxes. It's a powerful signal you send to your body and your mind that says, hey, it's safe to let go now. And that brings us to our final habit,
Just as we need to slow down at night, we need to intentionally fire up in the morning. So habit 4 is to move before the world moves you. Waking up in that fight or flight mode, checking your phone, brain already racing, it sets you up for a day of just reacting, not living in your own rhythm. Just a little bit of gentle movement within 30 minutes of waking up, or talking simple stretching, a short walk, anything. It starts this incredible positive cycle. Moving early leads to better focus, which leads to less stress, and that leads to a calmer evening, which leads to deeper sleep, which leads to an easier time waking up. It's like this energy flywheel that just builds on itself day after day. And this right here is the real game changer. This is the shift in your mindset. With this habit, you're no longer this passive person waiting for energy to just show up. You become the one who generates it. You start co-creating your day from the very first moment. So let's bring all this home with the most important message of all. If you are waking up tired day after day, you are not broken. You are just out of rhythm. This is the quiet thought that I think so many of us have had. You know, the modern world has basically trained us to be out of sync. We eat under artificial lights, we wake up to digital chaos, and we've forgotten how to just be still. Your body has been trying to tell you this all along. So these 4 habits, light before screens, eating earlier, creating a nighttime ritual, and moving in the morning, they're not about becoming some new hyper-optimized person. They're about returning to the person you already are. They are a pathway back to a version of yourself who wakes up feeling whole, clear, and totally in sync. It all just starts with a few small choices, a few small shifts to find that rhythm that's already inside you. So the only question left is, are you ready to start listening for it?